Hi, I'm Representative Rosa Gill, and when I'm in town, I watch Lady J.
Jay Jenkins, you're sick for this one, baby. Hey, come on. Lady J's montage is a show to watch for the mom and the children and the pops, giving life to the community. In the community, there'll be more unity. Sit back, relax, take a look. Give me 28 minutes and you'll be hooked. Lady J's montage. Lady J, what? Lady J, what? Lady J, huh? Lady J, what? Hey, hey, hey. Lady J's montage is a show to watch for your mom and the children and the pops, giving life to the community. In the community, there'll be more unity. Sit back, relax, take a look. Give me 28 minutes and you'll be hooked. Lady J's montage. Lady J, let's go.
Black History Month, also known as African American History Month in the U.S., is an annual observance in Canada, the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, and the United States. It began as a way for remembering important people and events in the history of the African diaspora. It is celebrated annually in the United States and Canada in February, as well as in the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, and the Republic of Ireland in October. The precursor to Black History Month was created in 1926 in the United States when historian Carter G. Woodson and the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History announced the second week of February to be Negro History Week. This week was chosen because it coincided with the birthday of Abraham Lincoln on February 12th and of Frederick Douglass on February 14th, both of which dates Black communities had celebrated together since the late 19th century. From the event's initial phase, primary emphasis was placed on encouraging the coordinated teaching of the history of American blacks in the nation's public schools. The first Negro History Week was met with a lukewarm response, gaining the cooperation of the Departments of Education of the states of North Carolina, Delaware, and West Virginia, as well as the city school administrations of Baltimore and Washington, D.C. Despite this far from universal acceptance, the event was regarded by Woodson as one of the most fortunate steps ever taken by the association, and plans for a repeat of the event on an annual basis continued apace. By 1929, the Journal of Negro History was able to note that with only 2 exceptions, officials with the state departments of educations of every state with considerable Negro population had made the event known to that state's teachers and distributed official literature associated with the event. Churches also played a significant role in the distribution of literature in association with Negro History Week during the initial interval, with the mainstream and black press aiding in the publicity effort. Negro History Week was met with enthusiastic response. It prompted the creation of Black History Clubs, an increase in interest among teachers, and interest from progressive whites. Negro History Week grew in popularity throughout the following decades, with mayors across the United States endorsing it as a holiday. Black History Month was first proposed by black educators and the Black United Students at Kent State University in February 1969. The first celebration of Black History Month took place at Kent State 1 year later, the whole month of February in 1970. 6 years later, Black History Month was being celebrated all across the country in educational institutions, centers of black culture, and community centers both great and small. When President Gerald Ford recognized Black History Month during the celebration of the United States bicentennial, he urged Americans to, quote, seize the opportunity to honor the too often neglected accomplishments of Black Americans in every area of endeavor throughout our history. What Carter G. Woodson would say about the continued celebrations of Black History Month is unknown, but he would smile on all the honest efforts to make Black history a field of serious study and provide the public with thoughtful conversation and celebration. To you.
Left to the right, top to the floor. When I say Black history, say it's yours. Black history, it's yours. Black history, yes, it's yours. And we say it loud and proud again. There's no America without the African. Fighting to get it equal. Black history, the story of the people. Black history, it's yours. Black history, yes, it's yours. It's it's yours. Only 28 days in the month of February. It's just a kickoff, we don't stop till every textbook and every class give up the glory. The true and living facts of his and her story. People wanna know why we still celebrate it. Road been rocky and we made it, we elated. Our survivors, strivers, fighters, singers get us dropping names like we had butterfingers. Rosa, King, X-Truth, the greatness. Ali, Fred Douglass, these are the basics. But how about Bessie Coleman, the fly aviatrix? Or Katherine Johnson, who helped launch the spaceships? Or Lewis Latimer illuminating homes? Or Dr. Shirley Jackson improving telephones? Or Fred McKinley Jones keeping ice cream cold? I could go on and on till my body get old. Left to the right, top to the floor. When I say black history, say it's yours. Black history, it's yours. Black history, yes, it's yours. Fought the revolution in both world wars. Black history, it's yours. Black history, yes, it's yours. Black history, yes, it's yours. Gotta say it loud and proud again. There's no America without the African. Fighting to get it equal. Black history, the story of the people. We gave you traffic lights to stop the crash. Almanacs, gas furnace, and gas mask. Gave you hip-hop, Tila rock, blues and jazz. And fresh new dances with flair and pizzazz. Automatic gear shifts to move the cars. Potato chips and peanut butter in jars. Laundry dryers, home security systems, super soakers and suspenders. I could go on listing. Many contributions across institutions. Supreme Court and ball court, it's been an evolution. And we sing it every day. Blue notes like Harold Melvin for this Billie Holiday. We know what's going on. Thanks to Marvin Gaye. Get a bounce in our step on cue like Kid and Play. Gwendolyn and Kendrick, our poets represent. Hold mics tight like truths that's self-evident. Yeah, we know our heroes fantastic, but gotta remember the forgotten on the Atlantic. We gotta honor our departed, taken from the land where humanity started. Left to the right, top to the floor. When I say black history, say it's yours.
Hello. Today I want to talk to you about another powerful African American figure that participated in the civil rights movement, Reverend Dr. James Lawson. Dr. Lawson was born in September of 1928. He was a follower of Gandhi and the practice of the non-violent movement. Shortly after meeting Dr. Martin Luther King, Dr. Lawson moves down south to Nashville, Tennessee. It is here where he joins the Southern Christian Leadership Conference and to engage in the civil rights struggle. It is in these SCLC workshops that the youth are trained, and we get some of our greatest civil rights heroes. People like James Bevel, Diane Nash, John Lewis, and Bernard Lafayette. A great example of Lawson's training can be viewed in the film The Butler. Dr. Lawson's students play a major role in just about every single civil rights major movement. The sit-ins, the freedom rides, the March on Washington, the Freedom Summer, the Children's Crusade in Birmingham, the 1965 Voting Rights March in Selma, the Chicago Freedom Movement, and the anti-Vietnam War movement. Dr. Lawson has a famous quote that says, "I am a man." This quote takes on significance mainly because shortly after Dr. Martin Luther King is assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee. Dr. James Lawson, September 22nd, 1928 to the present. Thank you.
Without the clock or watch, we would never be on time. Benjamin Banneker motivated all of us to ask, what time is it? That's right. He invented the clock and the watch. They became into existence because of him. Banneker also designed the layout for the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. And don't forget, the world's first almanac was invented by Benjamin Banneker. Read more about African Americans on the World Wide Web or in your library. And the next time someone asks you about a Black history fact, you can tell them what you know about that.
Today, Dr. Charles Drew revolutionized the medical profession by inventing the idea of a blood bank. He was the first director of the Red Cross.
Read more about African American inventors on the World Wide Web or books in your school library. When you read about it, you'll be able to ask others what you know about that. George Crumb's invention is loved by us all. He created the potato chip. French fries were popular at a restaurant, and one day someone complained that the fries were too thick. Crumb invented fries that were too thin to eat with a fork. When you eat potato chips, think of George Crumb. Read more about African American inventors on the World Wide Web or books in your school library. When you read about it, you'll be able to ask others what you know about that.
Granville T. Woods made the most thrilling ride in the park exist. When you check out King's Dominion, the Hypersonic, or the Grizzly, thank Granville T. Woods for your hair-raising experience. He invented the roller coaster!
Read more about African Americans on the World Wide Web or in your library. Now, if someone asks you about Black history, you can tell them what you know about that. During the summer months, we can appreciate the air conditioner. And during the cold winter months, we can appreciate the heater. Both were invented by Frederick McKinley Jones, an engineer who invented a refrigeration system that could be used in trucks, railways, and trains. Today, trucks transport our frozen goods because of this invention. Can you believe it? It's Black history. Lee Elder was the first African American golfer to play in the Masters tournament in 1975. He has won 4 PGA tournaments and 8 senior PGA tournaments in his career. Can you believe it? That's Black history. Maurice Ashley is the first and only African American to be crowned International Grandmaster of Chess in 1999. He opened the Harlem Chess Center in 1999, where he coaches young chess players. Can you believe it? That's Black history. Richard Theodore Greener was the first African American graduate from Harvard in 1870. He started out at Oberlin College, the first American college to admit African Americans, and went on to become a lawyer. Can you believe it? That's Black history.
Every day can shine a little brighter because of Lewis Latimer. He was the only African American on Thomas Edison's scientific research team. Latimer invented the filament that burns inside of the light bulb. Most people know Thomas Edison invented the outside casing of the light bulb. However, very few people know that an African American, Lewis Latimer, invented the most important part that makes it burn.
Read more about African Americans on the World Wide Web or in your library. Now, if someone asks you about Black history, You can tell them what you know about that.
Dr. Charles Drew revolutionized the medical profession by inventing the idea of a blood bank. He was the first director of the Red Cross.
Read more about African American inventors on the World Wide Web or books in your school library. When you read about it, you'll be able to ask others what you know about that.
Hi, my name is Chris Thompson. I'm the founder of the nonprofit organization called Basic Skills. I was asked the question, what does Black History and Black History Month mean to you? It means that we get a short amount of time to celebrate all the heroic, innovative, creative, resourceful, and valuable people that have contributed to our culture. We should be celebrating it 365 days per year. With that being said, we have to progress to the future, but the only way that we can progress to the future is that we look back to our past, at people like Anthony Johnson, the first Black landowner in America. He was on record saying, I own my own, I get up when I want to, I work when I want to, and I eat when I want to. This man owned 250 acres of land in 1650 off of the coast of Virginia. Now, do you know what that tells me? It doesn't only tell me that we are rich in culture and that we own things and we had things, but as Black people, we need to get back to owning our own. So in light of Black History Month that I celebrate so dearly, I celebrate it with the challenge. Come on, Black people, let's own our own. Thank you.